What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Wired Wednesdays. Tonight it's just going to be me. Dave is busy again this week, so just me and the beautiful music. So I figured, you know what? I was putting up the show, and I was like, this is the same music I've been playing for like a year. And then I was going through all the different music, and that one just, it made me feel good. So I have this other area. I'll throw up some different music because you probably don't want to hear this the entire time. Some of these are from my old videos and stuff, so let me know if the music gets kind of annoying. I'll leave it up. I'm only here for Dave. What's up, Steven Cicero? Yeah, he's another prior engagement. So he was good. We were actually going to try to do it a little earlier today, and around like 4, but he got held up with a couple things, so was unable to do that. So well, welcome everyone. I see some familiar faces. Travelers Travels, what's up? Son of a Rabish. Vinny Del Greco. Vinny, I got that 5700 out to you, I think Monday, Tuesday, everything like that. What's up, Hawk? Mr. Hawk Crypto in Tech loves the thumbnail and Mariachi music. Beach Party. Yeah, you know what? That's the thing, is I was going through the thumbnails, going through the music, and I'm like, I gotta change this up a little bit. I'm actually gonna redo the intro to the what is it? This thing. I'm gonna redo this as well. So those are like from the very beginning, like years ago, I think. So it's kind of time to change it a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me pull up the. Okay, now the chat's not. Oh, it's the. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Automatic Beats, what's up, man? Mr. Crypto Craig, Dom G, welcome everyone. Mrs. Susan Wofford, welcome. You need to let her. Yeah, the music is needed updating, so I figured I'll test it. You know, Dave's not here, so we'll give it a go. See what it looks like. So I'll change some things around, but Bitcoin is at $95,000, guys. You know, I saw Red Panda released a tweet today. That's not at all how you say it, right? He tweeted. He didn't release a tweet. I guess if you're Panda, you do release tweets. But he said people just don't seem as excited with this bull run as last bull run, and I kind of get that vibe too. Here, how do I do polls? Let me do a poll. Let's see. What was the last one? Was what, 2020? Let's do this. Let's see. I'll do 2020 or 2024. I'll start the poll there. People are waiting for the altcoins to take off. Yeah, I think so. You know, with Bitcoin up, how's Caspa doing? I'm not a fan of Caspa by any means, but I just don't know enough about it. I think I've mentioned that a million times. But yeah, that's been up. It's just enough that the machines are not insanely unprofitable. Or I mean, they're not. Oh, actually, let me look that up. Let's see. Let me switch this over here. Am I logged into this? Let me log out, actually. No, it's probably fine. I'll just do it just in case. I don't even know how to log out. Okay, whatever. I'll switch it over. Let's see what these things are actually going for now. Sorry for the white background. Hawk, if you're in here, you probably know, right? Or King. Let's see. What are these? The KS5 Pros? Are these the big boy ones? These still make $9 a day? Is that right? I thought these weren't. I guess. Well, I mean, these machines were quite expensive in the beginning, right? Timmy's still broke. Just because BTC is at 95K doesn't mean the Timmys have money to spend. See, I think. The poll is kind of interesting. I'm gonna leave it up for a little bit. 9 votes 1 minute ago. We have 37 people watching. Welcome everyone on X. I see an uptick on X. I gotta figure out how to look at the comments and stuff like that. I'll figure that out one of these days. Yeah, you know, after he posted that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I kind of feel the same, right? Is it because the alts aren't up, or is it just like a different vibe. And I think it's just a different vibe. Like in 2020, people were, especially in this community, were just a lot more invested in like GPU mining, with the ETH, like, so if ETH or Bitcoin or whatever, the overall markets went up, right? The profitability from your mining equipment went up. So instead of making $10 a day, you're making $20 a day, and it just kept like rolling. And like, I think that excitement is what's lacking at this point. This is like, you're just holding the coins, whereas last time we were all mining it, right? Like we were all on ETH, and some of the alts were bumping up and everything, but really it was like that pool payout constantly for me during the last bull run, where it was just like, wow, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Where it's like you get that passive income that everyone's talking about, whereas now it's like, okay, my $1,000 of Bitcoin turned into $1,300 of Bitcoin. It's great, but is it like amazing? It's not as exciting, right? I think that's really what how it feels. But yeah, Crypto Craig, I think a lot of people have over the past couple of years invested a lot in equipment and mining rather than investing in just coins. I know there's people that do just the investing side, but it's just a different feeling. Dom G, all will be in 2025. I hope so, right? Like that's usually the trend from my experience, is like Bitcoin jumps up, Bitcoin kind of mellows a little bit down or stabilizes, and then some of the alts start getting beefed up. What's up, Toxic Miner? They want to hold longer. Yeah. Aussie J Mining and Crypto, what's up, bro? This is my first bull run. Yeah, it's an exciting one. I mean, it's a lot different. It's just a lot different. Bitcoin maxis are definitely happy. That's for sure. L9's going crazy. More orders coming in. Yeah, that's nuts. I speak with Mike daily, Mr. Hawk Crypto Tech, and it seems like a lot of people are doing this. So it's here. Let's look at the L9s real quick. I can't believe the KS5 Pros. What was it? The KS3Ms? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's wild. What is this? Is the L9 on Nice Hash? Oh, look at that. Look at Nice Hash. It's right on top of it. $53 a day. That's what's an L7 making? See, you guys can tell. Oh my god! And L7 is making $28 a day. Mike, are they still selling L7s, or is it like discontinued? See, that's the thing, is I've said it before on streams. Like, we have a bunch of different. Oh, why did my Apple Intelligence just light up? See, they're listening to us. I know it. While I'm live on Google, but yeah, a lot of the clients that we have a lot of script miners and L7s. I think we have the one client we have has quite a few L7s. He's been with us since like the beginning, before we even went to Kansas, and he's grown a lot, since then. But it's like he's had these things for a while, and these things are just like, he must be making a killing on this. It's just nuts. Good for him, and good for everyone buying these. I mean, the L7 solid, even as like a used unit. I mean, what are these? I don't want to check eBay, but I'm gonna check eBay. eBay is such a bad like comparison. Anyone know what an L7 is going for? Only 250, 8,500. What? Yeah, geez. Hey, people are killing it. That's probably what I would do now, is like if I had some L7s, I'd probably just consolidate them down, sell them, and buy the L9s. This is the time to do it. Where's the embezzling, sleazy, lying ass crypto exchange with the trust me bro attitude? Do you know wrong CEO, no sweats? Oh, is that which? Oh, you're talking about Nice Ash. Wait till Christmas. Yeah, L3s go burr. Yeah, they have L3s on here. I'm sure they do. L3. Let's do the. Yeah. Look at that. An L3 is making 33 cents a day. Astonishing. What's up, Max? Not as exciting without the ETH mining and fees. Yeah, see, I think that's. I remember those days. It was like so fun. It was like, because I know people say it's a bad idea, but I did it for years. I would my payout wallet would be Coinbase, so I would get a notification every day of a payout, and like some days it would sway like $100 more that day, and I was like, oh man, those fees. It was so exciting. There's so much to talk about with it. Whereas now it's kind of just like, even starting the stream, it's like, oh well, here's the Bitcoin chart, it's doing amazing, but we're all kind of just sitting in the back waiting for it to go. It's Bitcoin has not been nearly as volatile as it was 2016, 2017, and it's stabilized. It's more just like I think there's a lot more trust with it, right? Like with MicroStrategy, with the billions and billions of dollars and everything like that. But it's definitely not as exciting, Max, as it used to be. Definitely not. So let's see. Might have to take a loan from my thrift savings plan to buy an L9. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of taking loans out for stuff. I know it's been done before. I have been guilty of not taking a loan out, but gone down the road of like, oh well, I'll just put it on a credit card. It makes this much every month, and then like it'll pay itself back, right? But like credit cards have compounded interest, very high interest rates, and luckily I haven't really eaten it doing that. But I wouldn't do it again just because I'm not nearly as risky as I was back in those years. But I mean, I don't know. I know. Well, with ASICs, it's kind of difficult, right? With script miners, though, I don't know. I'm not like an ASIC guy by any means. Nothing against them. I just like, I'm really into just the AI rental stuff now, and like I really love that whole industry and like everything that's going on with that. And so any dollar that I kind of put towards crypto, AI, whatever this whole thing is, I lean heavily towards the AI stuff, because I've just seen these things become doorstops. But again, like the script miners are probably going to be more than okay. Like if you buy an L9 right now, you'll be all right. How much are they, Mike? I can hear. I guess I should shill a company I'm a part of, right? Terra. Is it .com? Yeah, I think it's .com. Let's see. AL1. What happened to the Dragon Ball ones? You guys remember that? Oh, here it is. Look at that. Out of stock. We don't have any more Dragon Balls. Where's the script stuff? There we go. And L7. Oh, look at these. Mike, I guess they're still selling L7s. These are cool. The Alpha Packs, they have like the one nice looking one. Yeah, here's the L9. So December pre-orders, January pre-orders. Wow. So if you want it now, it's 15K or 17 gigahash, 16 gigahash, 1365. So what? 1365 divided by 50 a day, 273 day return. Not taken in, or no, that's after electric. I mean, that's really good. But then again, I'm kind of AI is very, very close with that, right? And I don't know, I just feel comfortable, a lot more comfortable, at least in at my scale, to put it more into AI. It's a lot easier to sell that equipment. Actually, maybe not anymore, because I see people all in our Discord constantly buying and selling stuff, and I see it on the other end because I do the billing, and this person sells to this person and stuff like that. So I guess it is kind of easy to offload stuff if you need to. I don't like having like savings and like I don't like having everything just very liquid. Like I want it like in something, but I just don't want it to be in something that is hard to liquidate if I need to. So if that makes sense. L7 is a tank. Love those machines. Yeah, Crypto Craig. That's the real winner, is definitely the L7s. Definitely the L7s. Those are just, I think that we sold a lot of these over a year ago for less than that. So that's impressive. L7 price more than double in my area. Crazy. What do you have the L7s going for, Dom G, in your area? Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a pure bull run this time. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin always leads it, right? It leads the herd. Let's see. Aussie J. Check out Volk Miner D1. All right. Do we have those? ASIC miner value. Yeah, let me switch over to this. What is this dash? D? Oh, is this script? This is script? Oh, it's script. Okay. D kind of through. Well, weren't the Ds like the Bitmain Ds? Weren't those dash miners? Those are a while ago. We got 3 inches of snow starting tomorrow morning. Oof, Vinny. That's. I see. Being in Florida, South Florida in the summers is brutal, but I can't do snow. Dakar Tech, what's up, bro? Let's see what this is. Bulk Miner D1. So it's 10 grand. And who makes this? Or Bulk Miner. See, the problem with this stuff is it's like it doesn't play nice with anything. And I don't have any experience with Bulk Miner. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, but just our experience at Terra with anything other than Bitmain, it's not just the machine, right? Like it's like, oh well, this machine's great. Like if you have it in your garage and it's running, that's fine. But when it's in like an environment with tons of other ASICs and it's using Foreman or Hive or whatever management software that you have, these things just always have issues, like always. And then when they do need to get fixed, that's a whole nother issue. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I remember when the Caspa stuff was going on, they Bitmain or obviously Ice River had them before Bitmain, and then Bitmain started releasing it, and then Ice River was still a little bit cheaper, and people were like balancing it, and we were kind of telling people like, hey, you guys should definitely go for the Bitmain models over this, and kind of sharing our experience with it. Not like we're trying to sell a more expensive machine, just like especially on Caspa machines, right? Because you buy it and it's like it has a clock, like you have to mine on it, so like uptime is vital, and everything like that, because every month and every time machines are going on, so you got to get this thing paid back. But I think we had a client that had probably a KS3M when they were really expensive. A board just went bad, and it's like nowhere repairs these places, or they're like months out, and if that happens, like if you buy a machine like that and that happens, then it's a loss. By the time you get it, looking back, it probably wasn't even worth repairing these things. Kind of just throw it out. It's like, or a door stop. So, yeah, I don't think we or Mike, do we we don't take these. I assume I haven't, like I said, I haven't even heard of these, but it matches the Bitmain one. It's a lot cheaper, but it's not going to be cheaper to fix. So that's the thing with these alt brands. Getting support is rough. Yeah, it's bad. It's Bitmain is solid. As much as like I kind of see them as like an evil empire, the Chinese Communist Party. They're like the ones, if you're going to buy an ASIC, that's where you go. They're going to have the support. They're not perfect, but they're at least they have the support there, and they have people stateside that are trained on this. The software is familiar, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So let's see. Alpha males showed the snow. Beta males mow grass in January. Okay, Vinny. I'll go outside with a shirt that says beta and a tank top and a mojito in January. Lukewarm Miner, what's up, bro? Shovel. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's a little weird. But it is crazy. The script stuff, the script miners. How are script coins doing? I know Doge has been on a tear, right? Oh yeah, no, look at that organic growth. 1 year, 386%, $56 billion. Isn't that crazy? But that's the thing, is it's like everyone thinks this stuff is crazy, and it is, right? Like we're all a little bit nuts, everyone watching the show, and myself included. But a lot of this crypto just has it has like a value that we've assigned to it, right? It's like a finite supply, and we just gave it value. And that's what we've done with a lot of resources over time. Before the digital world, that's what gave Bitcoin value. And of course, there's other use cases, right? It's can transact money across different countries, and you're not held to banks, freezing stuff and all. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff with it, but I used to think Doge was a joke, and all these other Shiba is, it's 11, $14 billion, but and Pepe is another one. I do see a ton of Instagram reels now, which is my own fault because I opened the phone, right? So I shouldn't do that to begin with, but it's just, there's a lot of pump and dumps coming again, and it's once people start talking in X's, 20x, 30x, that's when it's like, oh man, stay away from this stuff. But I think all these blue chips are going to do really, really good. This coming year, 2025, I think is going to be a good year for crypto. So, but who knows? We'll see, right? I could say it's going to be good. I could say it's going to be bad. We don't know. We do not know. But one thing that we do know is that NVIDIA again beat earnings. Let's see. If you want to see a chart, look at MicroStrategy over the last 2 weeks. Yeah. I was actually just talking with Frank today. He brought up MicroStrategy, and that's just been on a tear. So yeah, the crypto market's been doing really well, right? But a lot of these other companies surrounding it are doing a little bit better, almost. I will pull that up though. I want to see it, but yeah, NVIDIA was trading sideways, I think, after hours. But man, Ginseng is always wearing the same jacket. I got to get that jacket. It's a nice jacket. But 35 billion in revenue versus 35 expected. And I was looking at their expected earnings over the last couple quarters, and this was like the steepest. Like, it kept getting larger and larger. Wall Street just kept putting these targets on it that were more and more, and NVIDIA just keeps beating them. It's nuts. It's always hey, well, you guys are. I think it's actually the most. Here, let's do a market cap. I know I keep switching it. Is this it? Yeah. Oh, look, this one has dark mode, so I'll spare you guys. There we go. NVIDIA is the largest market cap in the world. Is that nuts? Where's Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin not on here? I guess I could just let me go back to CoinMarketCap. I'll just see what their market. Bitcoin's 188 trillion. So yeah, it's right above Saudi Aramco, right under Amazon. Wow, just wild. NVIDIA is a $3.6 trillion market cap, largest company. That's just crazy, just absolutely nuts. But iServer is adding repair centers now, but that's also now, not 2 years ago, whenever they hit the market. And who's going to be sending back home miners to China for repairs? Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know anyone that has an iServer that would even send it to repair. But here they are. But sorry, it did get their name out, right? It did give them a name. It came out of nowhere. They're probably a subsidy of Bitcoin or Bitmain. Sorry, I need a coffee. But they did build a name, right? So I would say they're if they came out with another miner, if they came out with a script miner, right? People would probably buy it. And the reason for that is just because they have a history, right? They've learned from the thermal paste being all screwed up and stuff on the Caspa miners and everything like that. So there is somewhat of a name. So them opening up these repair shops and doing everything kind of shows that they I don't know, are planting their flag, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's crazy. Here, I'll pull up a MicroStrategy here. Here we go. Yeah, ginseng is up there. Age of AI is in full steam. Anyone see the Jaguar rebrand? Awful. Absolutely awful. Where's MicroStrategy? Here we go. Look at that, 10%. 10% today. $106 billion market cap. Just nuts. Just crazy. But yeah, they've been here. Let's go to that chart over the past year. Yeah. Nuts. What was it? A year ago they were trading at $50, so almost a 10x. I guess, yeah, if you go, yeah, almost a 10x. Absolutely crazy. Why doesn't this show like it? Oh, yeah, here, 874%. That's wild. I actually did, so I've been holding NVIDIA for like a long time, and I bought it a while ago, and luckily been doing well with it. But today I actually sold it. I've been holding it for like years, and today was finally the day where I was like, it was just, I didn't expect them to beat, I'll be honest, but why doubt them? You know, they've just been complete monsters in this industry. It's just been absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, Coinbase has probably been doing pretty well too. I honestly haven't really been following these as much. Yeah, Coinbase has been on a 3x or what, 223% on the year. Did have a little bit of a dip. When was this? September, October. I don't know. Are you guys invested in like, do you guys kind of do both the stock side and this? Because that's kind of a play I've been doing, at least with the AI side, is like following like the energy production for it. So like with Bitcoin, I guess, and crypto, you kind of have to follow like Coinbase or MicroStrategy. I mean, MicroStrategy is like Bitcoin. Right? Let me see. End poll. Let me throw this up. 93% of people say 2024. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's 29 votes. Yeah, see, I'm part of that minority with 2020. I just it was so fun. It was so fun. But like, you know, like we said at the beginning, you know, alts have not had their run yet. So stocks and crypto, yeah. It's kind of what I know I've mentioned this like a million times, but Oklo is one I'm following really close. They IPO'd this year. I think right around, probably was this yeah, in May. Yeah, I think this is no, in April, I guess. When was their IPO? Oh, I can't. I thought that was dark mode. But yeah, Oklo is one I've been following for a while. And Trump actually, his pick for energy was the director in Oklo, which was interesting. I didn't know that. My dad actually sent me an article about it. But what are the odds of that? So yeah, stocks. What stocks do you guys like? Which ones are you guys kind of following? I'm genuinely like interested. Because I've been doing like the AI play. Like if you look at my stock list, it's pretty much just like anything that will be affected by like the supply chain of data centers and AI. You know, NVIDIA, Oklo, Microsoft. What else did I have in there? I think I had. Can't remember the energy company. Maga. Yeah. Nick. What's up, bro? Raytheon. Yeah, I mean, the defense contractors have been doing real well. But yeah, I don't know. The definitely have been playing more in the stocks than crypto the last 4 years, I want to say. Kind of following the crypto markets and everything that's been going on with that. And I mean, crypto is the reason I bought NVIDIA, right? It's you started seeing these things fly off the shelves in 2020. In 2016 I saw, but I didn't really have anything to invest at the time. But in 2020, these things started like flying off the shelves, and I was like, you know, why is this company not valued more? You know what I mean? It literally is making a product that they can't keep up with the demand. You know, they're just being sold out, and it's you know, gamers can't get it, miners can't get it, and everything like that. So it's definitely was a good buy. No complaints. Palantir, yeah, was that the data company? Yeah, this one's kind of been on a good little run here. This one's 203% this year, 521 over the 5 year. Yeah, this one's yeah, what software infrastructure? This is like the data one, right? Is that what? Like an analytics company. Yeah, it has been ripping. What's up, Ruskies? MicroStrategy's up over 800. Yeah, it is. We just looked at that. It's over 800%. Just nuts. Terra Hosting will be a mining rig disrupt this year. Cybertruck in the booth. Yeah. I think we will be there. It's unfortunately I wasn't there last year, which totally sucked. Wish I could have been there because the pictures looked amazing. But yeah, I did hear that from Mr. Hawk that we will be able to put a Cybertruck next to our booth with what are we going to put in the bed of the truck or on the tailgate? Maybe some koozies. Can we hand out Red Bulls? I don't know. Tesla touched 358 today. Yeah, Tesla. Elon definitely won the election. 46% over the 1 year, in 5 years, 1,300%. Tesla's been doing very, very well. $1.1 trillion market cap. It's crazy. I only buy Dillard stock. Yeah, I'm long on Blockbuster. So it's Hot Crypto Octa server coming back as well. Yeah, what is going on with this? You're still using the Octa server, right, Mike? I think. I'll go if you're handing out free Red Bulls. I think we are. Toxic Miner, if you go, I'll bring Red Bulls. Yeah, let's load the Cybertruck full of King C15s. I thought it'd be kind of cool. But Mike, can we charge that Cybertruck in there and run like a small ASIC, like one of those, you know, like home ones or something out of the back of it? Or maybe we just stick with Red Bulls. I don't know. Just Terra this year. You're saying, the partnership. We may open up some sponsorships. I'm not going to have too much to do with Mining Disrupt, but I will go and have a whiskey and Coke and enjoy the time while Mike is stressing out. Sold ad. I think the fact institutes and pension funds plus the Bitcoin ETFs are what makes of us more excited this time than 2020. Yeah, it's just it's more like everywhere, right? Like we had the president-elect, at the conference, right? Bobby Kennedy or Robert Kennedy was there. Sorry, and it is the first time that there's like big. I'm not gonna say big names, right? There's been a lot of big names in crypto for a while, but it was like an actual issue. Like it was like something that was brought up, regardless of whatever side of the aisle you're on, right? It was like, it'd be the same thing if Kamala was there, but I don't know how well perceived it would be just because of all the other things, but it's everywhere. So yeah, I mean it's been in the ETFs, it's involved in, and it kind of like it affects every US citizen, I think, in some way, right? The volatility of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin gets pulled down, it also pulls things with it, but if it gets pulled up, it pulls other things with it. So I think everyone's kind of indirectly affected by it in some way. Hot crypto, GPURisers, yeah, we can. Yeah, that'd be cool. I just don't want to like deplete the battery and then Frank just like, hey Frank, we killed the Cybertruck battery. We have to tow it out of here. It weighs 9,000 pounds. What's up, Allstat? How you doing, bro? I'm long Kmart. Yeah, I got to check my Kmart stock. I'm sure it's doing well. GPURisers signs the checks. Yeah. I do complain about marketing all the time. Isn't it normal? I guess like the finance guy is always like butt heads with the marketing guy, and we're both Italian, so we just yell at each other. It's good. It's good. You did make your first 100K from Dillard stock. Wow. Good shit, man. That's I don't know if I've never heard that sentence before in my life. Always like, oh, I made from this or that, but Dillard's. Yeah, it's crazy. What's up, Firehawk? Very good dynamic. Yeah, me and Mike, we yell at each other, but it still pushes us forward. We're yelling at each other while taking steps forward, if that makes sense. So that's I never thought I'd say that sentence. Yeah, that's a sentence I don't think has ever been said before. But congratulations. Enron though the whole way. Yeah, I don't know. It's here, how do I share? Let's see, can I share? Yeah, I guess I could share this, right? Here, let me try. How does this look? Is that all like... Here, let me put that over here. Does that look blurry for you guys? It looks really blurry on StreamYard. Yeah, this is awful. I'm just gonna switch back to good old Yahoo Finance. But IBM's a big one too that I've been kind of looking at. We're just gonna be talking about stocks and just bullshit tonight, guys. So I'll just again, Dave is away, unfortunately, but next week he will be back. We'll be on his channel. So, but IBM's been doing a whole lot in the quantum realm of things, which I think will. Billy the Kid AI took over my feed and told me to join. Yeah, looks like ass. Yeah, it did. I'm switching back to Yahoo Finance. Billy the Kitty. Yes, that is who you think, Mike. Crypto Craig, how's the Vast rigs doing? Good. I let me refresh it. Nope, it's on fire. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're doing good. I recently did invest a little bit more into the AI stuff. I did sell some Flux. My holdings in Flux was kind of like a hedge, not a hedge. It was kind of just my like investment in AI, right? And I love the Flux project. Like, I do think it's going to rise. I think it's going to be, any AI project I think is going to do really well with as soon as this alt season comes. But it's hard to sit for a while and not have your money make money, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're kind of just hoping, right? Like, I found myself start thinking like, oh, well, if this goes up in a year or something, but what if it goes down? Whereas I know I can make X amount tomorrow. Yeah, I know I can make X amount like day over day, at least for, a couple months. Maybe the whole market crashes, but if it does crash, I can sell this hardware. And I think this hardware is going to, in my opinion, it's going to go up a lot. Like, it's going to skyrocket. Not like multiples, but I think the EPIC boards, these EPIC chips, I think RAM, we're going to see a real big supply issue, or demand and supply will raise the lack of supply, or the more expensive of the supply. But I'm getting to tariffs. They're going to be more expensive, right? That's what tariffs do. So all these parts that we're buying for AI stuff now, I feel like we're getting it at a discount. So I kind of see it like, why not sell some coin and buy some stuff that's, generating some passive income? Yeah, that's how I see it. So I did get a new Vast rig up. I don't know if I could show a picture of it. I think I can. It doesn't really show a whole lot. I mean, yeah, I could show a picture. But yeah, just remind me. I'll show a picture. Actually, I sent it to Mike, I think. Crypto Craig, how did you invest better? Board, CPUs, cards? I actually am selling. I have a bunch of 74 OP epic boards, and the reason for that is like because I actually met with Offshore Miner. I sold him an epic board, which that guy's super cool. And it's kind of weird because I'm selling boards, but then it shows that I'm like, growing, still investing into AI. But I think I told Offshore Miner when I met him, like, you can see this computer here and this one back here. Like, I had 20 4090s running two card machines. I had like 10 2-card 4090 machines. So each machine had its own epic, motherboard RAM combo on it. So even though I'm growing, I'm also turning these 2-card machines. I turned them into 4, and then now I'm turning them into 8. So it's I'm selling some hardware, I guess you could say, but that's just because I'm consolidating the machines down. So I'm buying more 4090s. I bought 12 more 4090s. So and I'm making 8-card rigs out of it. So that's kind of what I'm investing in. I had been looking into like the new gen epics. It's so hard to justify. Like I ran the numbers, right? It's for a decently spec'd out epic board with RAM and everything, you're getting close to like $2,000, right? Like the 7402s I think are like 1,600 or something now, which I expect those to keep going up too. But and that's the combo, right? The RAM, motherboard, and the CPU. But the 9004 epics, the SP5 slot or whatever, I mean it's $5,000. Like when all is said and done, right? With the board, the CPU, and the RAM, and it's like you do not get paid on Vast for that. You know what I mean? Like you may be able to list it for a little more, but then you're like competing against these other, lower end machines, I guess you could say, like the 7000 series, like the ones I have. But people are paying for the GPUs, and they just want decently fast lanes. Timpy nodes live. You missed out, Fisting. Yeah, I do see everyone talking about the Timpy stuff. I really don't know anything about it. I think we talked about it briefly. Offshore Miner's here. What's up, bro? Good to see you. We're waiting for Tesla. Tesla's underperforming, huh? Okay, I gotta catch up with these chats. This is what happens when I talk too much. GPURisers, how's the heat with the 8-card rigs? They're fine. Really no complaints at all. The guy I bought the cards from, I've been like talking a lot with him. He's really into like the all the AI stuff, and kind of just bounces some different ideas on him. But I did this. I had 3 8-card open air machines that were on the GPURisers Omega frames, and then I sold one of them, and then now I'm building it back up. So the way I'm building it back up, though, this time is with a server case. So I can show a picture of that here in a minute. Yeah, that's a lot of 4090. Yeah, top 10 stocks go. That's a lot of stocks here. I'll pull it up though. I'll do 5 stocks, Mike. 10 is a lot. I still think Nvidia is a good buy, especially after this earnings. I mean, here, let me just pull up Nvidia. Where is Nvidia? It's not even here. Okay, yeah, it's down 2.5%. Yeah, I think Nvidia is still a good one to buy and hold for a while. I really think Cogent and Lumen would be good ones. Lumen, I think, has been doing pretty well. It did well right when I sold it. Fiber companies, I think, are going to be absolutely killing it and telecom companies like AT&T, I think, will probably do pretty well. I think Supermicro is a good buy right now. They did jump up. They tanked today, but they've been having some problems. I think Supermicro will do well. I wouldn't put a lot of money into it. IBM, I think, is going to be great. IBM has so many patents, and they're doing so much in quantum computing that I think that they're about to just take off. And they're such a well-established company that they would easily be able to raise capital if they, had the, everything all aligned and ready to go. It's not like a startup company. I think IBM is going to be like revived. And I think AI is going to propel that, right? I think it is now. AI is helping in the quantum computing world, and it's just going to keep accelerating it. Not really a big fan of defense contractors right now. I don't think it's going to do too well. It did really well under the Biden administration. I don't know how defense contractors will do under the Trump administration. I honestly think it's probably going to get kind of hurt a little bit with them kind of being on top of spending a little bit more, but who knows? But other than that, what else do I have on my list here? Mortgage companies, no, don't think those are going to do good. Tesla, no. I love Tesla, don't get me wrong, but I don't understand the valuations. And of course, the energy companies. Again, Oklo, I'll shill Oklo forever. I think nuclear companies will do very well too. I know the people that Trump is putting in place for this stuff are very nuclear friendly. And I think we are going to have such a demand for energy that we're going to have no other route to go other than that, right? So it'll be interesting. I do see AI and compute becoming like a national security thing. I know I've mentioned that before. I don't have my tinfoil hat here, but I think a lot of red tape is going to be cut for energy production. And I think energy companies are going to be wearing the gold medal the next couple of years. It'll probably take a while to see. And that this is assuming, everyone Trump is putting in is doing what they say they're going to do, right? We all have to hold, all these elected people, to a high standard, and we have to hold them to what they're, telling us that they're going to do, or hold them accountable for what they're saying they're going to do. So if they do that, though, I think energy companies are going to be a really good play. So those, I guess, would be my picks. I know that's kind of broad, Mike. So BTC mining profitable again. Yeah, it is. NVIDIA profits paid for my Tesla. Yeah, it's crazy, King. I said earlier in the chat, King, I sold my NVIDIA today for the first time in a long time. Not a long time, it sounds like, but in the world of this, it's been a long time. Watson by IBM is going next level. Yeah, I think IBM is definitely a company that I'm going to keep an eye on. I currently do not have an investment in IBM. I've been kind of waiting for an entry point to get into IBM. And you can kind of see from it's 66% the 5-year, 40% the 1 year. Its market cap is 200 billion, but its PE ratio is 30. So its beta is 0.71. Anyone that doesn't know what beta is, like a beta of 1 is like a balanced one that kind of follows the market. If it has a higher, like if it's 1.7, it would be more volatile, right? The market goes up 10%, this would go up 17%. It goes down 10% and go down 17%. It's a little more, it follows the volatility comparable to the larger markets. But I think it's time with IBM. Maybe I'll open up a position in that. What's up, Crypto Frank? We were just talking about the Cybertruck. We're gonna try to not kill the battery at Mining Disrupt. I guess we could just charge it, right? Or let's see here. Do you believe it will drop electricity rates? I don't know. It's a good question. The infrastructure costs are going to be more expensive to build it out, and these utility companies are going to have to kind of amortize out that capital cost, like all their capex for these projects. They're going to have to put into the electric rates. So I don't think electric rates will go down. I think they'll probably go up, but I do think we'll have a lot more stable of an electrical grid after the next four or so years. Which server case did you decide to go with to fit those thick 4090s Octo server? No, I did not. I'll bring up I have the photo of it, of an 8-card case that I got. Let's see. Trump's talking about creating a cryptocurrency specific role in the administration. Who should be the pick? I don't know. Michael Saylor or Hawk Crypto. I'm stuck between the two. Good job on taking gains on NVIDIA. Yeah, thanks. I was up a good amount percentage wise, and it's time to take it off the table, right? It's crazy. Not a bad buy on Coinbase. Yeah. We might have another Terra vehicle incoming to secret though. All I can say, it's going to be insane. Hey, a lot of exciting stuff. Smash that like, bros. What's up, man? POW mining. What's going on? Should I have an ASIC powered by the Cybertruck? Yeah, I think like a small one would be neat while also charging it. I don't know how that works, but no problem. We already pay for roads. Just add electric. Yeah, we got 67 people watching. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. While I just talk about stocks, and this is this is like the best kind of show. I think is kind of not like me just trying to like fill it, you know what I mean? Just like us kind of just chatting together about stuff. Let me pull up the server case. I can't talk a little too much about it, but it's let's see. Here we go. I'll show you guys this top picture of it. How do I share that? Oh, I gotta stop that and share this. Oh, why did Zoom open? That's great. There it goes. Why is everything so pixelated? This looks like shit. Hey, can I open this in a... Let me open it in a browser. Maybe that'll look better. There we go. Does that look better? No, it still looks like shit. 22 likes. Come on, man. So, yes. Does liking it help like the algorithm? I'm sure it does. It doesn't hurt it, right? I guess. Wow, that's a big banana. I know, Scott. I know. I hear that literally way too often. It's looks like the Tyson fight. But yeah, I know Crypto Craig, you mentioned heat, and so I've done like testing with this, like burn tests and stuff like that, just trying to see if this is like a viable option for the future. You know what I mean? But it's great because you can see it right here. Like they're blowing straight into the other cards. And no, it's not 8U. This is a 5U case. So it's nice. The only problem with it is one, it's like a bat out of hell. It's very loud, but data centers are loud, right? And the cards that you see in the front, you can see the VGA cable under it. Those 4 cards sit above the motherboard. So like the way I have this now, this is my personal rig. This is not like a Terra rig. You can see Pocket Chain sticker actually right behind it. But the problem with this is if I want to swap the NVMe or anything, I have to take out all of these cards. There are, you can see in the front a little bit, there are SSDs that are connected. You can connect to the motherboard with, traditional SATA cable. So I was going to do a enterprise SSD until I remembered when Jarrett told me the price of them. And then I was like, I will take the 4 cards out if there is a problem. But yeah, I think on the next one, I probably will front the money for an enterprise SSD. You know, you don't have to worry about heat with them really. They're isolated. The NVMEs, like, they have a shelf life, right? Like, they're gonna eventually go bad. And you know, with the enterprise SSDs, they'll at least last a lot longer. They won't be as hot, and everything like that. So it's because I have problems with my NVMe just even in my desktop computer, right? Like, if it's reading and writing too much, it just gets overheated and it just starts slowing down, and it can just totally crash, right? So it's it is something to think about. Very nice case. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It's heavy as hell, but I mean, this is 84090, so it's yeah, it's a lot. I use enterprise just due to reliability. Yeah, I think it was like, I was looking at used enterprise SSDs, which probably isn't the best, but the eBay seller had good feedback, and they were like 98% or something. So it's you know, yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, right? I guess, and they last a lot longer, so it's definitely something I want to do. Percent life is great with them on read writes. Yeah, it is. It's something I need to do. I really should have done. I'm going to do it on my next one because I'm building another one of these. I have everything kind of on the way now. This case had a lot of, let's just put it this way, I had to use a bunch of parts that would not be certified. There's definitely some super glue that you don't see in here. But it did work. It works. That's the key. And I do have to admit, this machine with the lid on, and this is the same environment as like my open air ones that are 8 cards. This machine runs cooler than the open air. And that's probably because you guys know the Omega frames, right? It's like it's the world's best mining, open air mining frame, but it's meant for massive cards. But 4090s are really massive cards, and it's like the 2 on the bottom shelf of the Omega frame that they just get hot. Like, there's nothing you could do about it. You know what I mean? And air just doesn't move. It just kind of sits there. And yeah, you know, you got the nice little RGB fans. I have a couple Strixes and stuff, and they look great, but it just does not move air. Or if it moves air, it shoots it straight out of the top, straight to the cards above it. So it kind of just is warm right around it, right? So with this server case, this thing just rips air. Like, it's we have another server case that we have in there for some data center cards, and it's a lot like that. It's definitely more janky, you know. It's not professional. These fans just run full bore at all times. There might be some setting in the BIOS because it does have like somewhat of a controller, but I honestly did not mess with it. So the fans do just run full bore, and it's those back fans that are really loud. You guys can see in the back of the picture. It's a lot. He was in a video smoking a cigar with his dog Doge. But yeah, Crypto Craig definitely going to go that route. Mike, you told me not to show this case. Yeah, Mike, I like secrets. I have tons of what's up, Scott? Oh, I said hi already, Scott. I have tons of right-leaning friends. If I did that, I'd not have any. Yeah, right, left, middle. Everyone is welcome. Mike wants a surplus used U2. He wants for 3 pennies. Yeah, I am. It's a lot, right? And that's how I see it. Is like this machine generates this much, and the 99%, or no, we'll go 97% of that income that it's making is from the graphics cards. So if you spend, you know, this is how I look at it, right? If you spend $800 on a nice new enterprise SSD, in my eyes, that's $100 more per card that you have to pay off, right? That's just how I look at it. But Craig is 100% right. Like, it's reliability and it's longevity, right? Like, whenever I do replace these, I don't want to replace anything else. I just want to, you know, maybe not even reflash the SSD, but probably, you know, maybe there'll be a new Ubuntu version or something to switch to. But yeah, I just want to swap the graphics cards. So I'll probably go that route with the other one. But actually, I don't think I have any other 4 terabyte NVMe, so I would have to buy one. So if I'm buying one, then it's like, okay, maybe I'll spend another couple hundred and do it. What kind of PSUs work with this one? This one is server PSUs, full redundant. This one has 7,200 watts PSUs. That was a big thing also. The ATX are great, but it's especially learning everything that we've learned. It's kind of like you want the redundant PSUs just for, not like, I don't want to say not for like if one goes bad, right? Like if one goes bad, it sucks. On if you have all ATXs tied together, it's a problem. But it's more just the how easy it is, right? And you can also, if you need to change power, and this is something I never even thought about prior to Terra and everything that we've done. Like there are times, there's been actually a good amount of times where we've needed to move the power, right? From like power source A to power source B. And if you have redundant power supplies, you can do that. The machine never has to shut down because you just unplug 2 of the power supplies, put it on the, you know, power source B. And then once it's, you know, stabilized on that, then you unplug the other 2 and move it all over. And as crazy as that, like, well, when am I ever going to do that? There's been like tons of times where it's like we would have prayed that we had something like that. Super glue, yes, Frank. There's a lot of super glue in my garage right now, but it does work. It does work. Does one bank get hotter than the other on GPURisers? No. Are you saying like you're not talking about like the PDU banks, right? Like you're talking about like the sides of this, like the ones that it's pushing the air into. No, from what I see, they're all here. I could pull up my. Let's see what these things are. Okay, like I said, these are in the same environment. So my other one, the coldest or the hottest card on the other one is at 33 Celsius, which means it's not. I mean, these things are rented, but they're like rarely are they like at full bore or even running a whole lot. And then putting that into comparison, this one in the server case is 28C, is the hottest. So it's it like I thought it was just completely batshit crazy that like a server case like this, because I've seen this a couple months ago, right? And I'm like, why would you just blow the hot air from the back to the front, right? But after working with this and seeing it, like the air it's like an airplane in there. Like it is so loud and fast that it just rips the air out. It doesn't get like hot enough to ever, you know, be an issue. Now, this is inside of like, you know, our beautiful data center that we've created by hand. So it is a chilly 71, 72 degrees in there. This probably would have worse effects if this was in a passively cooled environment, like, you know, Kansas, like a GPU mining facility, one where you can't, you know, just throw a bunch of BTUs of, you know, cooling at it. It probably would build up. It would heat soak itself, right? Like I definitely would see problems with that. I also did learn recently to power limit these. So these cards have a power limit of 450 watts, and I have them power limited at 380 right now. The guy I bought them from was power limiting them down to 350 without any impact on like the deep learning score or anything like that. So it's pretty good. And it came with all the cables and everything like that. It's definitely no complaints with this. But yeah, Scott, that was definitely something I was kind of worried about. It was kind of just a fear of mine. But yeah, we got 70 people watching, 28 on Twitter, 42 on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Sorry Dave is not here again. He will be here next week. We will be on his channel. 10 minutes to midnight. Yeah, it's blowing hot air. It protects your investment. Reliability is key. Yeah, King, you know me with this stuff, right? I'm like, how cheap but safe can I do this? And it's the NVMe's, dude. Like, I'm not going to skimp on it. You know what I mean? It's the next one is definitely going to have an enterprise SSD, and then you can just plop it out in the front, right? You don't have to take the whole thing apart. Like, if I had to replace the NVMe on this and take everything apart, I would have to like mentally prepare myself before I do that. That's like how much of a hassle it would be. Whereas you could see in the front, they have like the trays right there. You just pop it out. Mr. Crypto Craig, I don't like fucking with stuff when I get it built enterprise all the way. Yeah, I'm learning. Who's it? Mr. Sean Magley. Is this the Vistang? Mr. Sean Magley. Did you get a notification I was live? For anyone that doesn't know, Mr. Sean Magley is a very dear friend of mine. Thank you for coming, Sean. I was just actually talking about the Omega frames. For anyone that doesn't know, Mr. Sean is he's an engineer, and he does like all this design work, like this AutoCAD work and everything. And so he was the first guy I called when I had the idea to build out just a bigger frame that could fit larger cards. So yeah, Sean designed that whole thing. I remember sitting in the warehouse kind of going over all of that. I do have quite a few left over, so anyone watching, if you're interested in Omega frames, we do have quite a few, but they are great. I think that like it's the same thing with crypto mining, right? Like, you get started in your home, and that's where I think open air is kind of like the play, right? The only reason I'm doing this in server cases is it's like a square footage thing, right? Like, I want to put like 4 or 5 of these in just a server rack, and then if I need to ever relocate the server rack or put it in my house or whatever, I could just pallet the thing, you know what I mean, and move it around. So whereas the open air frames, it's like 8 of these on an open air that's that wide, it's not fun to lift. I had to like build it there. Even this case, I was gonna just bug Mike and ask him if he could come up to Melbourne and help me with it when I have to get this thing going, because it's gonna be a battle. So if anyone in Terra that's watching, if you're watching the cameras, you'll probably hear some scream alerts and some yelling alerts, and some choice words. But yeah, Mike, I'm picking up a 42U rack in Monday, actually. It's to no surprise, I found a place that refurbishes them. So I found because Jared, I think if you're watching, King, I found a place that sells what do they call them? They're APC racks, but they're like the deep ones, right? They would fit this server case. They would fit, all the other crap that we have up in Melbourne. So I found a place that refurbishes them. So it's about half the price. Vinny Del Greco, AutoCAD is for suckers, SolidWorks. I think Sean does all of it. He actually had a 3D pen that was really, really cool. But yeah, Mike, I'll bug you. Maybe Monday. You want to go up Monday? We'll just I'll buy you a beer. GPURisers, imagine like 500 of these in a tier 3 data center available now. I know. Yeah. We definitely want that, Crypto Craig. But how many megawatts is that data center? Isn't that wasn't it 5 megawatt? I don't know why 5 megawatts is like coming on. I'll wait for you to 5 to 6 megawatts. Okay, I was close. Yeah, maybe dual substation feeds. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We have a lot going on with Terra right now. A lot in the background. That's just a lot of exciting stuff. But I do like the AI is it's humming along in Melbourne, right? Like, there's not a reason for us to move everything right now in Melbourne. It's working. It's close enough that we can kind of deal with it. It is a remote facility for the most part. We have people there if there was like something, like an alarm went off or something, we have a guide right down the road. But yeah, we were really focused right now on the colo for the hosting for crypto. That's like what we've been working with for a long time. That's once that project kind of winds down and that's all going, then the data center thing is going to be the next thing, and that might be going in parallel with some stuff. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about that, but yeah, 5 to 6 megawatts. I've heard Blackwell is having trouble overheating in data centers. Yeah, I think it's because like all these data centers weren't designed for like training language models. You know what I mean? Like you have like your, kilowatt hours. You have your kilowatt per rack, right? If you want 7 to 10,000 watts, 15,000 watts. But I think that the data centers that are having all these data centers are designed like so specific, right? This is how much heat comes from it. This is an average, right? They like an average from all the uses from all their servers. Okay, well, it kind of balances at this. This is what kind of cooling we need. We need to direct it this way. I don't think took into account the amount of airflow. Like I said, this server case just shoots air out. And if you hear like the hum of like X's data centers that they've built out, Microsoft's, all these, like, they're loud. People are wearing hearing protection. That's a Sally Sells Seashells thing. But they're wearing this ear protection in these data centers because it's just loud as shit. It's like, it's almost like, it's not an ASIC miner. It's not like the pitch of that, but you guys know, I'm sure it's loud. So yeah, I don't think these data centers were really designed for these, and they're trying to like, kind of change a little bit of this, kind of make it work while these other ones are being built out. So I think data centers are undergoing complete redesign, right? Like instead of 7,000 watts on a rack, you're going to need 15,000, and how to cool that in the amount of space, right? You either have to have just more airflow, and then you have to make up for the air, right? That has to come from somewhere. You're going to have different pressures and stuff like that. So how do you fix all of that? That's for engineers to figure out, because I just know if it's hot or cold in there, and I'm either happy or not happy. So but I know a lot of people are going to liquid too. I think a lot of the Blackwell is going to go liquid. There's not really a reason for it not to. The crypto industry did it, right? You had a bunch of these ASIC miners consolidated down to these containers, and they were like, okay, well, how much, how can we solve the cooling issue, the maintenance issue, all these other issues that we have? And they went to cooling for high density energy consuming machines. And that's kind of what data centers are coming to, right? Like a server like this that you're looking at right now, there's a lot of super glue on it, but this server, this server can consume more than 4,000 watts. That's not normal for 5 U's. You know what I mean? That's not, I don't know any other server that's 5 U's that's going to be consuming 5,000 watts. You know what I mean? You could have, if I have 5 of these in one server rack, which I can do, that's 25, 1,000 watts that you're going to kind of have headroom for. Not luckily, I guess that's not the right term, but I guess, yeah, it is. The people that do rent these do not train language models on them. They just run models on them, or they run, I had one guy doing the password cracking and stuff like that. Those guys are few and far between from my experience, but a lot of these are just on standby. They just sit there and wait until a project comes in, and they just need standby compute, and that's what it is. So yeah, it's long story short, short story long. Data centers have to figure out the cooling scenario, and I think we're going to see a lot more hydro when it comes to that. Hetzner does that. I think OVH does it as well. Just custom liquid solutions, right? This case would not need any fans in it, or very little fans, just like to have just some air movement, if all of these were closed loop systems that were then connected to a rack that had its own massive cooling systems on it, and then that's connected to even larger pumps, right, that are moving this out to the radiators outside. But it's expensive. It's very expensive. AI is an expensive field. 3 megawatt generators as well. Yeah, that's nice. What price are they wanting for it, Craig? Just wondering. Do they have it listed, or is they kind of just open offers? Future's gonna be friggin' awesome. I hope so. I don't know. 10 minutes to midnight. I kind of feel like this is like Skynet. You know what I mean? You know what I saw yesterday? I need my tinfoil hat. We got 72 people watching, so anyone that's new, I'm quite the conspiracy theorist. But it was, you guys see that like the UFO stuff everyone's been talking about, and like these not whistleblowers, but these people kind of like bringing it to the attention, like, you know, that these programs and stuff. I don't really believe one way or the other. I like the idea that there might be like aliens out there. Like, that's an exciting thing. You know what I mean? Just like me seeing like, you know, dinosaur bones or something. It just seems like something that's so far away, yet it could be here. I don't know. It's a weird way to put it. But I saw a theory that Vinny Del Greco in Congress, that the like intelligence that might be out there might not be like biological. You know what I mean? It might be like some crazy AI that was built, you know what I mean? And then that AI just, you know, survives and lives longer than whatever biological intelligence that was there, right? Because I mean, I think Elon said it like a day or two ago. He was like, you know, we're AGI, you know, AGI is like a year or two away, right? And he always says that about stuff. But even if he's like grossly underestimating, even 5 years away, having AGI, that means that it's, I mean, everyone has different definitions of it, but like something that is smarter than a human, right? And I did see some chart also. I can't remember what podcast it was, but it's basically saying once we do have the AGI, that's when it's going to accelerate tenfold. Like, we think it's crazy now, but once we have an AGI that can train itself and then train, you know, more and more and more, and it's constantly like this ladder effect of these AGIs training each other, it's just going to propel into like just a compute madness. You know what I mean? But I think that's kind of a cool theory, right? Like, the intelligence that's out there, maybe 99.9% of it is like a technological intelligence, right? Like an artificial intelligence that is just surviving on a planet of everyone's biology. Just, you know, because we're biological, right? Like we won't be here forever. But a computer chip in space that can fix itself and repair itself and create others and fine tune itself to all the, I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting. Offshore miner. I believe that really, you can only pump and efficiently cool so many BTUs at any given time. Yeah. We've, I guess we could just say Terra Hosting has had many interesting experiences when it comes to cooling solutions. It's been a road, but it's been fun. It's been fun. But the AI stuff really has to be in like controlled environments, right? I think that's really important. So shark farmers and alien, that's good. That's good. Shark farm. I got some questions for you. We could do an interview. I think they are us from the future and solve time travel, save us from ourselves. Yeah. Interstellar theory. Yeah. We can look at the deal. It depends when I can get state local money as well for economic incentives. Yeah. I'm surprised no one's biting on that right now. I guess maybe the state and local incentives, like you said, the economic incentives just aren't there yet, where I feel like a lot of other states are kind of just like throwing money in this field right now. So don't remind me. Yeah, we have there's been a lot of nights in that data center with cooling issues, but luckily, like I said, it's chilling, 71 degrees. Nothing will go wrong ever again. Mr. Crypto Frank, check out Blackwell NVL4 CPU and GPU for AI. Let me pull it up. Blackwell NVML. I gotta like switch these. NVL4. Are these like all the racks that are like interconnected? Yeah. Oh, this is the chip. Yeah. Oh, here's liquid optimized. Look at this. By Super Micro. I just mentioned that in my stock picks here. Tom's Hardware. Let me close this. My super top secret server case with super glue. NVIDIA's 200 NVL4 solution takes things to a new level by implementing 4 of the B200 GPUs and 2 Grace CPUs on a single motherboard. These cards look pretty familiar. Yeah, what they're doing is just like tying this. I was watching the video, the ginseng video. Let me see if I can see they had like 100 GPUs like interconnected, using it was like an NV-Link that looked like Gandalf's cane. It was like nuts. Let me see if I just type this in and see if anything comes up. This is from March. Yeah, that's a while ago. This one is like on steroids compared to that. It doesn't show any photos. Let me see. Blackwell NV-Link. Okay, well. Let me just, when was this article? November 18th. Okay. All right, we're good. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. I don't want to bring up the March one. It's a Forbes article. Oh, jeez. Oh, my throat is dry. NVIDIA's new hardware alleviates concerns for Blackwell transition. I guess this is what the heat issues. Thermal challenges. Some customers. What is this? I don't want to cancel that. Water-cooled racks. Many data centers will need to do some homework to implement new data center layouts with water cooling technologies to take advantage of the new systems. And of course, customers have had a couple of years to prepare. This is not a surprise. I guarantee all these large companies, finance departments, and operations departments did not have years to prepare. But they were told by the tech people for years to prepare. And they were probably like, nah, we'll just get another air conditioner. Not that I'm guilty of that or anything. If you want the power of Hopper or Blackwell and NVLink, you don't have to implement a moonshot, but be clear that many cloud companies are already installing these next generation racks. The efficiency of water cooling is a compelling motivator. Look at these things. It's the most dense and highest power rack of computing we have ever seen. A fully loaded 72 GPU NVL72 rack weighs 3,000 pounds and consumes 125,000 watts. 125,000 watts, 10 times what a traditional one. So the one I was just talking about was like 25K, right? Like if I loaded this thing with 4090s, a 42U rack, which is double what that is. But still, this is 6 times what that is. That is, yeah, I mean, like, how are you going to have air just move that? What are you going to do with it? Absolutely nothing. You're going to have to water cool this stuff. Maybe immersion. Maybe immersion would be. Imagine just like a jacuzzi, like a giant jacuzzi. Maybe that's where it's going to go. Right? Wouldn't that be easier than all these closed loop systems just having all this in mineral oil until someone falls in and gets eaten by the AI? Need AI negligence insurance. That new card is crazy. Yeah, seeing all these like NV links interconnected, just like, it's crazy. It's what 8 of these would be a megawatt. 8 server racks would be a megawatt of power. Like that's more dense. Is that more? How many ASICs do you think you fit in this? A 42 rack. I can't even begin to do the math. It's probably more energy dense than ASICs, yeah. Assume so. You fit 20 in, yeah, it's definitely more energy. You would have to fit 125,000 divided by, let's just do 3250. You have to fit 38 and a half ASICs in a rack. This is more energy dense than ASIC mining, which is crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Isn't the liquid cooling flowing in those pipes on the ceiling? Are they? I would think. Again, I'm just a small town pizza lawyer, but I would think it would go with gravity, right? Like, why not? I think the electric comes from the top. You'd probably want the water coming from somewhere else, but wouldn't it kind of go with gravity? Like, you would want it to be just in case you have to drain it or something. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I would think if I had to design it, right, I would design it with super glue and under the floor. Feels like it's a job for Ghostbusters. Finito AI runs on human visceral fat soon. Soon they'll say it's an efficient energy source and it's abundant. LOL sprinklers, yeah, that's crazy, just crazy. These things are, and you know what's nuts is that they're just like flying, like they're already spoken for 12 months. I think that's what Jensen said. I don't know if it was on today's earnings call. I didn't really listen a whole lot, but I think the highlights from like 2 days ago, because they've been releasing videos too. I mean, like, talk about like video, YouTuber production here. Jensen has been popping out some cool YouTube videos. But I think they're spoken for 12 months. I mean, like, imagine a business like that where you're like, we can't really make anything for 12 months, or everything that we're making is already spoken for. And you got like literally the world's billionaires fighting over it. You know what I mean? It's a good thing to have. I guess that's why they're the most valuable company in the world now. Just nuts. Just nuts. I could power the world. I think that this is why, this is so dense that, like, I think two things are going to have to, well, there's multiple two. I'm just going to mention two things. But, like, the whole crypto mining world has, the big problem in it is power delivery. How are you going to get the energy? Can the grid support it? Can whoever's feeding the grid support it? You know what I mean? And it's so dense. These containers have like a megawatt per container. These racks, these NV Link or NVML or whatever, these are 125,000 watts a rack. Probably twice as dense as crypto mining is. So you're either going to have micro data centers, 5, 10, 20 megawatts everywhere, or you're just going to have like, I can't imagine a 50,000 square foot data center with 125,000 watt racks. Like, let's just do math. Let's have fun. Let's do math. I'm going to ask AI because it's a lot. Let's do, I'll do ChatGPT because I pay $20 a month for it. I should just run a local language model here, but then I don't have a nice little app on my phone that follows my location and learns everything about me and sells my data to my enemies. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to share this because I have all my stuff here. 50,000 square foot. I guess they're bigger than 50,000, right? Let's just do 50,000 square foot data center with 42 racks. How many racks could you fit in there? That's a very broad question. I'm definitely training this model. Okay, it's going real slow. It's going really slow. Now it's going faster. Okay, let's talk about hot cold aisles, side clearance, all this stuff. Okay, it says max number of racks would be 1,667. And this takes into account hot and cold aisles, side clearance of 1 to 3 feet, depending on equipment, and everything like that. So 1,666 racks. I'll do 1,667 times 125,000 watts is 208 million watts. That's like a 200 megawatt data center for 50,000 square feet. Let's see what's a traditional, here, look, we're all learning today. Traditional data center size, square feet. Okay, a typical data center is around 100,000 square feet. Yeah, that's the average size. But then it says a traditional data center typically ranges in size from 5 to 10,000 square feet, which is like what our Melbourne location is 7,500 square feet. It's like 5,500 square feet if you of usable space. Are these really only 5,000 to 10,000 square feet? No way. I guess if it was, let's just say 10,000 square feet, what, 208 megawatts? Let's just knock it down to 10,000 square feet. That's 41 megawatts. Okay. That's still a lot of, that's a shit ton of power for 7,000 square feet. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Nitrogen cooled my work. Yeah. Oh, I still have this. Here, I might as well leave it on here to, yeah, nitrogen. Yeah. Let's see. Bitcoin's 2x strategy ETF is up almost 83% in a month. Whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. Doing all these multiple leverage stuff. I mean, it's been paying off. Doesn't pay off if it goes down, but they're 6% of the entire stock exchange. It's wild. Just wild. Hydro ASIC containers are insane. So nice. Yeah, Crypto Craig. We saw a lot in BTC Nashville, and they're impressive. They have like the chillers on the roof of the containers. So did someone say math? Yeah, I'm doing a little math. Just it's crazy, Max. The 125,000 watts in a rack. How do you not liquid cool that? You know what I mean? That's just like you have to. There should be something like a feature on YouTube so people can math it out. Yeah, I can. I do a lot of like Excel stuff. I probably make like 1 to 2 Excel docs a day of just mapping stuff. Like normally what I just did, I would do on Excel because I like to see it in front of me, and then I like to be able to change things, right? Like I just did, let's do 10,000 square feet instead of 50. Like if you set it up right, it just takes like a minute or two, and then you can quickly see a bunch of different, like, change variables, right? So maybe I should do that. Just pop up Excel and go through crazy scenarios. So in today's bananas, yeah, it's a lot of bananas. It's a lot of banana. I'll check the banana chart. Let's see. I'll do the banana stuff. Banana price index. Is that what it was? Global price of bananas. Yeah. St. Louis economic data. Yeah, it's back down. Not much has changed. It's got a slight uptick. Boys. Nothing that stands out. It's been going. Yeah, August it bottomed out. $1,000 per, what is this, per ton? Yeah, a metric ton of bananas, shortened out as PBANSOPUSDM. That's gonna be my new gamer tag on Xbox. Has been going up a little bit the last 2 months, but look at that drop. It's let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Just from 2022, I guess just COVID supply chains backed up, killing our bananas. I'm not gonna go and pay $1,700 for a metric ton of bananas. But now that they're at $1,100, I'll probably go to Costco and I'll buy 2,000 pounds of them, The NG Tier 3 has custom 16-foot racks that are climate controlled, and the room is climate controlled, 30 to 40,000 square feet. That's a big building. Actually, it's not crazy when you think about it. Like when I'm standing in Melbourne, it's like sometimes it's weird being in a room that big, because that's what these data centers are, right? It's just like no, they have hot and cold aisles, but in Melbourne, we just have a big room. And it is weird seeing that much square footage. I can't imagine like 30,000 square feet. Yeah, you have to have a climate control. There's so much that goes into it. But they have all this software now that you can like kind of plug everything into and be like, okay, well, what do I need? How does this work? That's way above my knowledge. At the maths, yeah, 100%. I usually have to take off my shoes for math and run out of fingers. Yeah, exactly. Start using your toes. I have a calculator on my foot right now. Always fun when the math comes out. Pretty interesting. GPURisers. Ask ChatGPT how big the Microsoft, Google, and Amazon data centers are. Plop that in here. How large square foot wise are Google, Microsoft, and What was the other platform? You said Google, Microsoft, and Amazon, right? Amazon, yeah. Wonder what X too. I'm gonna put X in here too. More the merrier. Amazon and X data centers. All right, ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT is owned by Microsoft. They're probably gonna say Microsoft is. Holy shit! Okay, these are slightly larger than Melbourne. Council Bluffs, Iowa, one of Google's largest data centers, spanning approximately 1.4 million square feet. Microsoft Quincy. You know what? Let me. How do I? Let's see. I'll just read it off. There's not a whole lot. 1.4 million for Council Bluffs, Iowa. Quincy, Washington, from Microsoft, has 800,000 square feet. AWS doesn't publicly disclose specific data center sizes, but they're known to often exceed 100,000 square feet. Meta, Facebook is in Iowa. A lot of interesting in Iowa. Data center in Altoona encompasses 2.5 million square feet for Facebook. And they didn't talk about Twitter, so there's a bias in ChatGPT. They don't like it. But that's, I assume Twitter's probably is going to be small, but that's wild. 1.4 million. Let's do a little more math, right? So 208 megawatts was for 50. So that's twice that. It's 416 megawatts for 100,000 square feet. And what was it 1.4 million square feet for Google? So times that by 14, we're at 5.8 gigawatts of power. If you had a 1.4 million square foot language model training facility at full bore. That's crazy. How much power does Florida use? Let's see. Now I'm just I like comparing it, right? Like I compare coins to market caps of companies, and let's see how much energy does Florida use. This is great. Yeah, this is tons of information. 4,000 trillion British thermal units, BTUs of energy. I don't know what that means. Okay, that's too much. Make this simple for small brain. Simple for small brain. And how many gigawatts are needed to power all of Florida? 59 gigawatts of power on average. There we go. Like, let's doing all this math. See, I wish this was like available when I was younger. I would just be talking to it. The kids now they're either gonna be really stupid or really smart, depending on how they use this tool. So 59 gigawatts of power is what Florida uses on average, which is how much a data center could use. You know what I mean? Like, it's a data center using as much power as a state. And Florida probably has a lot of power. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on in Florida. So maybe we'll see it, right? That's why I mentioned like the industry or the energy sector is going to do very well over the next 5, 10, 15 years. I think nuclear is going to be a huge thing. It has to, all right? Like the traditional grids can't produce this much. So I think that I think that's what Oklo does, and a lot of these other nuclear startups are these like micro nuclear plants that can provide, maybe a gigawatt or two of power, but it's only for this one use, right? It's not tied to this massive grid. So, okay, I gotta catch up. Have you guys utilized any of the enterprise versions of this OpenAI product? No, I have not. I just use it day to day. Where's my... let's see. Yeah, I just have like an app on my phone I have just the ChatGPT app. That's really what it is. But I talk to it sometimes. I'll be in the car and I'll talk to ChatGPT for like 10 minutes sometimes, just going through crazy scenarios, and it's good. You know what I mean? Good feedback. Definitely using it more of a I'm like forcing myself to use it, and the more I use it, the more I like it, right? I used it yesterday when I made a crock pot meal for a chuck roast. I was literally at Whole Foods and I had AirPod in, and I'm like trying to do like a little bit low. I saw Max was doing low carb. I'm trying to do low carb too. I like bread. I like pizza. I gotta stay away from it. But I was like, what can I throw in here? I'm not gonna put potatoes in it. You know what I mean? I got carrots, which may or may not have had E. coli. I got a notice from that, so I feel okay. So I will keep everyone updated with this thing's E. coli status. But like, what else can I throw in here? You know what I mean? And you just talk to it like that. It's just natural. It's not Googling to some shit article that has a million ads on it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, if you're doing this, you could try throwing in bean sprouts, or you could throw in peppers, and, you know, like all these things. I'm like, I don't, you know, I wouldn't really think right away to do that. Right. So, you know, kind of, yeah, I know that's completely unrelated. I use it a lot, right? It's good to use. Google has a data center that's over 2 million square feet. It's crazy. It's crazy. Their site has enterprise at 60 a month and at least 150 users minimum. That's interesting. See, that's great for businesses, right? Like if you know, if we had multiple employees and stuff like that, I would for sure get that for Terra. You know, from just the operational standpoint, where I'd be like, this is a tool, use it. You know what I mean? Because it might save you time. You know what I mean? I feel like AI kind of has a bad rap in that sense, where it's like, oh, well, employees are just going to be using this. Well, you know, why not give them better tools? You know what I mean? Like, you want them to do math by hand, or you want to do it on Excel? You know what I mean? It's your value per employee goes up, the more, you know, the more that they can produce and everything like that. But it's also tools, of course, for everyone in the business. So enterprise, yeah, I think it's great. I think everyone should be, AI can be used in anything. Like I said, whether you're making crock pot meals and like want to find something low carb to throw it in there, or if you're calculating out how many 125,000 watt racks in data centers you could fit, how much cooling you would need for it. And you can even bounce ideas off of it, right? I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. We all kind of use it a little bit, but yeah, it's, how big was the one Musk got it earlier this year? I don't know. He did do that. I don't know how big it was. Microsoft is reopening the nuclear power plant at 3 Mile Island. Yeah, it's smart. It's smart. Iowa has cheap power, so not surprising they have a lot of data centers. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. All protein, vegetables, no carbs. Yeah, I'm not like a potato guy. You know what I mean? Just not a potato guy. But you put like a chicken parm sub in front of me, like it's a bad day to be a chicken parm sub. So it's yeah. Take a picture of the fridge and ask it. Yeah, 10 minutes to midnight. Actually, I remember that. I'm going to do that, because you can take a picture of it and it'll just give you like recipes to make. Like, this is all the crap that you have in here. This is what you can make from it. It's so awesome. The voice chat's also cool. Yeah, that's what I use. Like, I'm on it almost probably sounds like I'm on the phone, because I've gotten so used to talking to it now, where I'll talk like I'm talking now, and I'll just be ranting. And like, even halfway through it, I'm like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. And then like just obscure stuff. And I don't want to say it's never not understood or responded, but it's been really, really good. Like, and it just gets better and better. It's, you know, it's, I don't want to say it's scary. It's great. It's honestly great. It's, you know, you could talk through even like personal stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I have a little bit of, you know, some anxiety flare-ups and stuff like that. And, you know, anyone with anxiety and stuff like that, and they can kind of relate to that a little bit, where you're like, oh, well, I'm feeling this way. Like, is it? And then I've talked to it before with stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's just great. Like, it's going to be huge in the middle. It's huge. Everyone knows it's huge. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we're going to have AI therapists soon. It's geared towards you. What I'm currently eating: meat, vegetables, eggs, dairy, nuts. Have to get control of this insulin resistance and sugar addiction. Yeah. I feel you, Max. I feel you. Bad day to be a chicken parm sub. Yeah, 100%. Article from September says that they hit 1 million subscribers. Yeah, jeez. It's just going to be more and more, right? Like, there's going to be some, in a year, if you're not using AI, then it's, you're going to just be, it's like not having a smartphone. You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't have the sugar stuff. Like, I'm not like a sweets guy at all. But yeah, like I said, I will. It's you don't want to be a chicken parm sub and be around me. I'm just wondering how much was data center? 800 square feet in San Fran. Yeah, they're huge. It's a power problem, and I think Jen Singh from NVIDIA said that. He's like, yeah, we can build you guys all these racks, and like we have the silicon to do it, and like we have the supply chain, like we can make it, but like just you're not gonna be able to turn it on. You know what I mean? And that's why, again, with like Oklo or any nuclear company, like that's my financial advice, I guess, is to follow these guys, because they know, they're smart, obviously, and they're going straight to the source, right? They see that there's going to be a power issue, and they're heavily invested in fixing that issue, because that's the issue, right? Not the racks. You know what I mean? If the issue was, cooling, and how are we going to cool this, and mineral oil, then they would be investing in mineral oil companies in production, but they're not. They're investing heavily into the energy side. I don't want to say they're not investing into the cooling stuff. They probably are, but yeah, I don't know. Long stream. Yeah, it is. Yeah, hour and 50 minutes. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. We got 68 people watching, 35 on Twitter, 34 on YouTube. It has been a long stream. I'll probably wrap it up here the next 2 to 3 minutes. GPURisers. I went to the bank because my father had a fraudulent altered check on his account, 16 to 4K. Used ChatGPT to get as much information as possible on my 20-minute drive. Amazing. Yeah. It's literally like, it's nuts. It's, I know we've been talking about AI for a long time now, but I think the next massive use case, and I know I talked about this probably last stream, right? Like, this is the problem when I'm left alone and Dave leaves me alone on these, is you're just kind of going tinfoil hat UFO stuff, but it's going to be language models that are trained on all your crap, right? Like, it's going to know your emails. It's going to know, if you want it to, right? Copilots on your computer probably already does, but it's going to go through your OneDrive. It's going to go through your photos. It's going to go through your text. It's going to know how you talk. It's going to know when you feel good, when you don't feel good. It's going to know when you eat, if you gain weight, if you lose weight. It's going to connect with your scale. It's going to connect with your Spotify. It's going to say 2 p.m. every Wednesday, he listens to sad songs. It's going to know everything because it has so many data points. And from that language model, I think the next big thing, which is probably already here, is these personalized AIs. Where, like you said, Max, like, you went to the bank, fraudulent charge, and you're talking to ChatGPT, giving it the situation. Whereas I see this kind of turning in the next 3 to 5 years, probably sooner. Something that already listened to that call, listened to that email, like already understands you, how you think, can give you an answer that's more related to how you would understand it, right? And I ask that sometimes too. Like I've asked some weird questions to ChatGPT, like how does a quantum entanglement work, right? Like I've gone in rabbit holes with AI and different AIs, right? Like I'll do a llama, the Flux AI I've had some fun with, and ChatGPT. But I'll also say, explain this to a lawyer, right? Or explain this to someone that has a background in finance and tax, and it creates an understanding for that, which it's great. I mean, it's just great being able to do that, because I always struggled through school. Like it was always like on probation and like all, I was always doing other stuff, right? I couldn't concentrate. But it was also the way the information was taught was it was just a streamlined way. This is what it is. It's in a book. This is how it's been taught forever. And it was hard for me to understand it. You know what I mean? My brain just didn't work like that. I learned math by doing machining in high school, like using lathes and mills and calipers, and like, going out to the, multiple decimal places, multiplication, like that's how I learned, right? Division, cutting measurements and using my hands. And long story short, with ChatGPT, short story long, that's it's just gonna be, it's great. It's gonna be a great tool. And it's been one project. That's what this machine has kind of been, my Flux Flux Edge server. It's turned into a bunch of stuff. I know I've talked about it for a while. You can do a language model that's trained on all your crap, right? You just feed it only information about you and then very select things, and it can kind of respond in ways that you would respond to. There's a whole thing with it that's super, super interesting. But I know I'm ranting, Max, but it's I think in situations like that, it's just it's going to be amazing, right? Like you get stuck in these scenarios and you hop on with your AI. You can name it whatever you want. Hey Wally, it already is caught up to date. It already knew that email that you got. It's already might have even preemptively done its research on it and got trained on that to update you on it, and everything. Like I say, like the pot roast that I made. You know what I mean? Like it might have already known I was on keto, or not on keto, but trying to, I'm trying to cut chicken parm subs. It's it's one of the hardest things I've done. The place next to me has these chicken parm subs. It's all I think about. I wake up thinking about chicken parm subs. It's a problem. But yeah, the AI might know that I have a chicken parm sub problem. And so when I'm like asking for recipes or something, it might, hey, let's throw a little bit of moots in the chuck roast, right, Mike? Let's throw a little gabagool at the chuck roast, but he's gonna hate that. We'll make a gravy, grandma's gravy. Capitulation, yeah, 10 minutes of the night. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's definitely a project I'm gonna be following heavily, and I'm gonna be looking at companies specifically to invest in that are doing that. I think that's gonna be a huge thing. Life after death as an AI, I think is gonna be huge. I think there's gonna be a huge market for that, where you could train yourself so you could leave something behind. Again, aliens. All right, I'm gonna wrap up here because I'm just going. I love the quantum entanglement string theory. I know I have a book on the string theory and the quantum entanglement. I've been too much research and too much reading than I want to. But how beautiful is it that quantum entanglement can be broken down and explained in lawyer terms or finance terms for me? It's amazing. It is just, it can relate it to something that I'm knowledgeable about, and for that, there's no reason anyone cannot learn something and understand things, right? And that's beautiful. So, Crypto Frank, I have a horrible sugar addiction. I can't even walk down a cookie aisle in Publix. I use any excuse to buy cookies. Yeah, I'm just staring at the bread and the chicken. I'm just like, that's my problem. But yeah, it's crazy. What's moots? Mozzarella. I'm like, just gravy goes on potatoes. Chicken parm capitulation. Yeah, there should be a chicken parm capitulation theory. We can make a new quantum theory about chicken parm. You can download NVIDIA AI and it can do insane things with your data. Ask it when was the appointment with Becky, and it searches messages, emails, and more. It's insane. Yeah. See, I want to set aside more time for that. I've talked with AI about making an AI and training a language model, and it's given me some really good insight on data sets, like creating data sets to train it on and everything. The one thing, I don't know how you would have it continuously trained, right? It's definitely a complete invasion of privacy. I'm not really too worried about that, as long as it's like, I don't want someone else to have access to it. Like, hey, what was Michael's emails from this date or something like that. But you are going to have to give this stuff out. You know what I mean? Give it permissions that you'd probably not feel comfortable with. So it's only running on your system. You just need an RTX GPU. I remember you sent me the link for that, Frank. I'm gonna check that out. That's what I'm doing, actually, a local LLM. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Offshore miner. That's definitely a project I want to do. The problem is every time, like, I mean, I'm like this with everything, but if I put a 4090 in there, right, and then it was like a project machine, and so I sit here every day and I'm doing work, me and Grogu over there and our banana, and I stare at it when it's not on, and all I see is just 25 cents an hour just doing nothing. You know what I mean? And so I take the GPU out and put it in a machine to make money from it. So I just need something that's on standby. But a lot of these language models you don't need a 4090 for, right? Like, yeah, it's quicker, it's faster, more power. But 3090s, there's this one guy on YouTube. I don't know, who's this guy? Here, I'm gonna just mention this, and I'm gonna log off. Yeah, this thumbnail I like this thumbnail. Let me know if you guys like this thumbnail. This was done on it was like a beach bar for Wired Wednesdays, get a cool vibe going, and I did it on Flux AI. Flux AI image generation, in my opinion, is much better than Ollama or ChatGPT. I'm gonna pay for the premium service for it. There's just like a combination of multiple models, but theirs is, it's good. Like ChatGPT, their version like messes up words all the time, whereas this one, I mean, you guys can see it looks pretty good. Who is this guy? I'm gonna mention it just if anyone's interested that's watching. Who was this guy? I saw him because he had an open air frame, a mining frame with 4 3090s on it. He has like his home lab. What is this? Why is it? It's always on my front page. Of course, it's not on my front page now. What was this guy's name? Is this the guy? Yeah, this is the guy. Here, let me share. I guess I'll just share this screen, right? That makes it the easiest. Carbs, yeah. I'm so torn between rental and my own LLM side of things. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do, Offshore Miner, is I'm going to just put like a 3070 in here or something, right? Like if it takes a little bit, like I'm not going to, unless it gets to the training side, right? And then maybe I'll just offset it to one of the, A-card 4090s that I have at the Terra data center to train it, and then switch it back over to this. Because you don't need something crazy to actually run it, right? Like a 3070 will do text to text just fine. Maybe a higher VRAM. I don't know, maybe like 4070 or something. I don't know. That's the thing though, is like the nicer the card you get, then I'm just looking at it and I'm like, well, the whole time I've been sitting here, I would have been 50 cents richer. It's this guy. Has anyone seen this dude? Digital Spaceport. I really like this guy. I've been watching a good amount of his videos on this stuff, and yeah, you can kind of see just from the what he does. But yeah, he makes these, it looks like almost like mining, but he does no mining, no AI rentals or anything like that. He just does like his home lab local AI stuff. Very cool stuff. So I might just need a second board. Yeah, I mean, that's that's why I still have a board in here. This one I'm not selling, because that's like I said, I am going to do it. I want to do it. I am going to do it. But I don't think I'm going to do it with a 4090. I think that's just too expensive to just have fun with, right? Especially when you could be paying it off. And that's where my head always is with this stuff. So maybe a 3090. It would be nice to have a 24 gig card to do it, but yeah, it's nuts. He has a great channel. Been watching him from the Chia days. Oh, he did Chia? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Great recent video on GPU pass through to VMs as well. Yeah, that is. I think this is the guy that I saw, because I did a lot of research on. I was setting up a Proxmox cluster. I ended up setting it up and it's running, but I didn't. It's on like I have these two card 4090 machines, right? And they're in like kind of an office, and I'm switching those over to an 8-card one with 4 others probably the next week or 2. But I set up a Proxmox cluster on a small computer, right? Like an Intel NUC. I installed Proxmox on that to be like I don't know, I'm going to butcher the terms, but like the master one or whatever, the main computer. And then the 2 4090 machines were added to that cluster. And I had pass through for those. Actually, no, I didn't set up pass through. I did Proxmox, but I'd still bare metal on both of those because I ended up not connecting to it. Now that I'm thinking about that. But the reason I'm saying all this is because I think this guy said that you can get 16x through GPU pass through or PCIe pass through, which I thought was interesting. So because that's something I was thinking also, like, 8x is fine, right? Like all my machines, the 8-card 4090s are 8x. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like there's only so many lanes on these boards. So it's love his recent videos on his AI configurations. Yeah, it's good. He has some awesome content here lately. Very talented guy. Yeah, this guy's just great. Like this guy would be great to have like an interview with. You know what I mean? Just does very cool stuff. Tons of good information. There's a lot of information out there on this stuff, which is great. So and his quad server, it's interesting. He's using ribbon cables and everything, but this guy's got a cool setup. So I've definitely been learning a lot through this guy, and everything like that. So I am redoing my network rack at my home. I recently took apart some older servers that I have. I still have a 730 in there, but yeah, I'm gonna probably move this to a server. You know what I mean? I don't need to have it right next to me. Don't want to kind of blow in heat also in here. But yeah, very cool stuff. I have to go watch that video. My Proxmox GPU pass-through is only 8x. Yeah, but does it really matter if you have an 8-card machine? You know what I mean? Because I know you have one max or two or something, but you have an 8-card setup. And if you have 4.0 8x, you're going to have that regardless, right? So I don't know. I'm just asking, like, just wondering. Very informative videos on that. Yeah, that's why I've always heard that it was 8x only until I started seeing videos on this. I'm like, okay, well, why is this guy getting full 16x? How late am I? We just started mining in the north. I'm just kidding. We're gonna wrap it up here soon. Grogu doesn't like the extra heat. Yeah, no, Grogu hates it. That would be kind of cool if Grogu was an AI, right? Because that's what I always say is like the Tesla bots are a little too tall. Like if I have a robot in my house that's AI, it needs to at least be 2/3 my size, and I need to be able to take it down. Like it needs to not be very strong. But if Grogu was an AI, it could play with the dogs, it could play with the cat, it could do tons of things. But yeah, anyone that's interested in this, I know Max and Mr. Craig mentioned this, but for anyone else, I know Offshore Miner, we spoke about this briefly. This guy has some really good videos. I would definitely suggest with the board and like doing a setup like this, like kind of starting with a hypervisor and then making VMs on it just to get the experience from it, right? And like learn from it. That's something I kind of wish I did in the beginning. It's not too late. I'm still doing it and learning it, but I would spend a little more time kind of just focusing on, just the whole thing. Like it's so much information and so many different programs, so many different ways you could set it up that I wish I spent more time just learning it in the beginning, right? 16x GPU pass-through is normal on server motherboards. Yeah, if it is, yeah. I always thought it was 8x. That's what I've always just been told and read. I've been playing catch up on his videos. Oh, nice. Yeah, this guy's the GOAT. World's oldest profession of the digital age, Vinny. I'm sure there'll be some of those out there, right? You're gonna have AI girlfriends. It'll be totally normal. Everyone will be very normal in the future. But on that note, guys, we're going for 2 hours, 8 minutes. I don't have a co-host tonight to tell me to stop, so I kind of just kept going. Maybe that's why Max is saying it's a consumer board with the 5950X. Yeah, see, that's what the testing is all about. You know what I mean? Like that's why I think we've always just kind of thought that. You know what I mean? But whenever I look at these other rentals on these platforms, it's like these machines. Like how does someone manage 30 machines without having this on like some hypervisor? You know what I mean? Is it really just someone just sitting there going bare metal to every machine every time there's a problem doing this, logging in? I mean, there had to have been a way, right? So maybe that's what it is. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to try with this one. Once I get a card for it, Proxmox is going on that, and also some of the stuff in the server. That's probably honestly going in a 2U server case, though. I do like the case, but I can get another Grogu there instead. So, Crypto Craig, thanks for this. Yeah, of course, bro. I love doing this. It's so much. Thanks for chilling and hanging out. It's I know it's not all about crypto all the time, but we have a good time. Wired Wednesdays, thank you for flying. So yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it. 95K, Mr. Vinny Del Greco. That's crazy. Vinny, let me know when you get that 5700 XT. I did ship that out. I think it was a red dragon or something. Now you can go bare metal to bare metal, but use an app to make it easy to remote into each unit from a central point. That's interesting too. Kind of like a remote KVM or something. See, I don't know. I gotta like spend time. That's what I should get a calendar and just mark off a day, and I'll just throw my phone in a dumpster and just sit here and just learn this, right? Like go through everything. It's a lot, but I'm learning a lot. Like it's every day I'm learning. Like so, it's just amazing how much there's out there in this universe. But on that wild note, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. It is 10:30 Eastern. We've been going for 2 hours. We got 68 people watching, 35 on X, 32 on YouTube. Anyone watching that doesn't know, I do co-host this with Dave, the veteran miner. We switched channels. So this was supposed to be on his channel. It's on my channel this week. We will be on his next week. So follow him on YouTube and Twitter and whatever social medias are new that I don't know about. And we'll be back next week and probably talking a lot of the same stuff here. But thanks so much for joining, guys. I appreciate everyone hanging out. It's a fun stream. Had a good time. Always have a good time with you guys. So have a great rest of your night, and let's wake up to 100K Bitcoin. So have a good night, guys.